What's up guys, and good morning. Today I'm over at my grandparents' house with the Miata because we're gonna be installing some new parts on it. Sorry I haven't made a video in a little while. I've been busy, I got a new job down at the beach, so that's been occupying a lot of my time, but it's also allowed me to buy some stuff that I want, like what we're doing today, and that is gonna be making this thing just a little bit lower, and that means we're installing some coilovers. So let's get started. Alrighty, so we got the car in the garage jacked up. Took a little longer than I thought, but got it all jacked up. Let me show you what coils I got. So here they are. Went with the Tein or Tein, however you pronounce it. Street basis. This is just their entry level model, but you know, this is my first time modding a car, so we'll see how they do. Already took the front wheels off here, got it all jacked up, and we're gonna do the hard side first. I probably won't film anything, and then I'll show you guys once we do the other side. Okay, so we're at the point now where we got the suspension out of here. See, no more stock strut in there. Originally, I thought we were just gonna have to take out the bottom bolt, the two on the top hat up here, and the screw on the end link of that sway bar. But it was just too long of travel on the stock suspension to pop it out at that point. We still needed about 2 more inches to actually get the suspension out, the strut out. So what we did was take this, this was right here. We took the long bolt out of there completely. I can't remember what it's called, like the arm bolt or some shit like that. We took that out to give us the extra room, the extra play in here to be able to completely remove it. So here it is out. The stock's right here, and just a second we're gonna be putting these babies in, so should be sick. So we started at about 9:30 a.m. this morning. It is now, let me check my 7:30, so spent the entire day, and we got the front 2 coilovers on. Didn't get to the backs. It was a little more complicated than I had anticipated, and we ran into a couple snags along the way. Didn't film it because I was already too frustrated, so we got it on there. We're good, so let me show you how it's sitting as of now. These are Tein's recommended ride height to set it up as, because the springs are going to settle a little bit over the next like 2 weeks to a month. So this is where we're sitting right now. So that's a lot lower than it was before, and that's just at recommended. So once I get my new wheels on there, it's gonna be sitting pretty low. So from the front to the back. So there's a considerable difference. What's up guys? It is now day 2, and we're gonna be doing the rear suspension today. Should be a little easier than the front based on the videos that I've seen. The only tricky part, I don't think it's gonna be tricky, but we gotta take all the carpeting out. There's just these plastic little pins in there, so gotta take the carpeting out to get to where the bolts on the top hats for the rear suspension is. But yeah, besides that, I feel like we have a better idea of what we're doing today, so hopefully we'll be able to get it going. Making a little progress. We got the rear wheels off. Took all the carpeting out of the trunk. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. So this is what we're looking like right now. Got it out of here. Took this metal piece out right here. So what is this, a fuel line right here? Or what? Yeah, oh yeah, for the gas tank.
Line. Yep.
Fuel line running here.
We're gonna need to remove the 2 14mm nuts off the top of the strut. One's gonna be a little hard to get to.
This one's easy. This one's a little harder, but we'll be able to do it. Alrighty, driver's side, all disconnected in here. So this is free.
So you have to remove the, what is this, 17mm? I think that's a 17mm bolt, which is the bottom shock bolt. It goes on the bottom of the shock. And then you got to take the bolt out of the spindle. I think that's either a 17 or a 14. And then you have to disconnect the end link. Once the end link's out, then you can just push down on here and pull the shock out. But so, right now we got the 2 bolts. Yeah, so the only thing holding it's the 2 bolts on the top hat, right? Exactly. And then there should be plenty of room to get it out.
Sweet. This is the tricky side with the fuel line right here.
Yeah, some people say to use a universal joint, like a 3/8 drive universal joint to get to it, and we're actually finding it easier to just use a deep 14mm socket. We were able to just turn it out that way without having to use the U-joint. So there's one more in the back that should be no problem, but this is usually the difficult one.
All right, so I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but their Tein street basis, so that's their base model coilover, which means you have to reuse the factory top hat. So that's what Mike's doing right here. So that's the factory strut. And then, so we're gonna be taking this part off and reusing it on the new coilovers. So we got the spring compressors on there to hold the spring, so when we take that bolt off the end, it doesn't go flying across the garage and kill somebody.
Probably still gonna fly a little bit because there's still a little bit of pressure right here. You can see the pressure on the spring, and this is gonna launch a little bit. There it goes.
Alrighty, so here's a view of the coilover with the OEM top hats on, ready to install. So we just put the assembled coilover back in there. So it's just hanging by the top bolts right now. So we're just gonna put everything back together and just tighten it, not super tight, but just tighten it down, and then we'll start on the other side. So obviously the next step after coilovers are wheels. So let me give you a sneak preview of what's to come. So here we got the stock. Oh, bling bling! 16x9, 15 offset Whistler KR7s. So keep your eyes peeled for the fit on these. Also, the coilovers are all on. So they're just all snugged down right now. We're going to put the wheels back on, lower the car down just to put some even weight of the car on there, then jack it back up and torque everything down, and we should be good to go. Okay, so we just got done with the coilovers. They're fully installed right now. Drove it around the block once, make sure everything sounded all right, felt all right. I didn't hear any squeaking, didn't hear anything weird, and it seems to drive pretty much the same way it did before. We ended up lowering it just to the recommended ride height. So basically I went from like 3 or 4 finger gap in the back to a 1 or 2 finger, and then a 3 finger gap in the front to basically like a 1 finger gap. So I will show you the end result right now. I might have to go lower, a little bit lower to fit my wheels because they're kind of aggressive, but looks sick. It was a lot of hard work, but we got it installed. Let's take a look at it. Alright guys, well I think that is going to do it for this video. I'm super satisfied with the results. I think it looks sick, and if I need to go lower, I got plenty of adjustment for that. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys on the next video, which will be probably fitting my wheels. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to click subscribe. I got a lot of plans for this car. So yeah, until next time, I will catch you guys on the flippity flop. Peace.